Hey guys, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to a new video from Halima Sultan. I hope inshallah you guys have been having an amazing, awesome day. So a couple days ago, Canada came out with a pretty vicious article warning its citizens against coming to Somalia and also warning the citizens who have already come to Somalia to return back to Canada. It describes Somalia as this kind of lawless wasteland where you just can't find any kind of anything. It's just barren, wasted, criminal type of land. And some people have wondered, what are my thoughts about Canada's article? So here I am, I'm making this video in response to Canada's article and attack on Somalia. What really describes Somalia? Is it this constant reputation of grief and suffering, or is it more than that? Take a look in this video. So in preparation of this video, I've done a couple of research to address Canada's concerns about Somalia. Take a look at this. So according to statistics from Canada, or Statistics Canada, and from Canada Daily, over 2,000 reported homicides throughout major cities in Canada since 2023 have taken place. While the majority, almost 96% of major violent attacks and even homicide goes unreported. Almost 6,000 crimes per 100,000 people, including violent crimes, and the majority making up hate crimes against ethnic and indigenous populations. 100,000 cases of breaking and entering, property crimes, and more. 40% of theft crimes and 182,000 cases of shoplifting since 2024. 69% of crimes against children being cyber crimes. Let that be self-explained, and over 18,000 crimes against children since 2024. Nearly 70,000 people are experiencing homelessness in Canada, with more than 67,000 people looking for shelter on a single night and over 100,000 people crowded in emergency shelters. In 2025, 1.5 million people are struggling with unemployment in major Canadian cities, 2025, and 25% of those people being uncertain how they will manage remaining funds or not having enough for groceries or their next meal. Since 2024, there has been a 94% increase of Islamophobia and racially triggered attacks against Muslim populations in Canada. Does that sound like a perfect country to you? So take a look at that. With everything that Canada has accused of Somalia in its article, many people have been responding to Canada's pretty harsh statement about Somalia. And one of them, surprisingly, in BBC, reported that there's been a surge of tourism despite all of the kind of threats that have been said against Somalia. So why is that? Why has there been a surge in tourism? And why do people still continue to come to Somalia despite all of these bad reputations against Somalia?
Somalia today stands at a pivotal moment, emerging from decades of instability into a period of measurable growth, renewed international engagement, and expanding regional cooperation. Somalia's economy has continued its upward trajectory, recording approximately 4% GDP growth in recent years. This expansion is supported by rising private consumption, improved agricultural performance, and strong remittance inflows from the Somali diaspora. GDP and GDP per capita have steadily increased, reflecting strengthening market confidence and gradual macroeconomic stabilization. The country now boasts one of the highest mobile money usage rates in Africa, enabling millions of citizens to engage in daily commerce. Somalia's natural endowments present major opportunities for sustainable development. Livestock, fisheries, and the blue economy, telecommunication and digital services, and mobile and maritime trade positions Somalia as a natural commercial gateway of the Horn of Africa. On top of this, Somalia is home to rich heritage sites and pristine coastal landscapes with significant tourism potential. Lascaux, Lido Beach, Berbera, and Kismayo, historic markets and port cities are just a few to name that have globally significantly contributed to Somalia's increase in tourism. Somalia is increasingly integrated into East African and Horn region initiatives contributing to peace, trade, and development. Yes, Somalia is an imperfect nation, a country constantly balancing between instability and stability, between struggle and growth. It is living with the scarlet letter of its past, constantly tattooed with this devilish disposition and despised against the entire world. Judged harshly by a world eager to remind it of every flaw. And yet, despite all of this, Somalia continues to rise. It survives every blow, every obstacle, every external attempt to define it by anything other than its resilience. But then we turn to these so-called developed countries, those who claim to have it all: wealth, resources, democracy, justice, stability, structure, freedom, the entire catalog of what a functioning society is supposed to be about. But if that's the case, then what is the excuse? Why publish hardline advisories and fearful warnings, while your own citizens are leaving in growing numbers? Why, while Somalia sees an increase in tourism, investment, and returning diaspora, are you issuing alarm bells for your own citizens? Perhaps it's finally time for us to speak plainly. No nation is perfect. Not Somalia, not Canada, not any country on this earth. Every place has its troubles, its vulnerabilities, its moments of decline and renewal. And yet they continue to push on against the current, surviving with what has been provided or sponging off of the powers to be. What has come is what some believe will always be. But in the cycle of life and political wars against each other, some rise, some fall, and no one stays the same forever. So rather than projecting judgment across oceans, rather than framing another nation as the threat or the failure, perhaps focus on repairing what is broken within your own home. Put your efforts into becoming a model of peace, fairness, and dignity for your future generations. Be proud of what you built, not what you tried to tear down in others. Somalia will continue to grow in its direction with its own people through its own resilience. Let those who criticize do the same for themselves before pointing out. So what do you think? Do you think that Canada is right in its accusations about Somalia, or how it sums up Somalia? Do you think that Somalia is experiencing a growth period or some improvement? Let me know in the comment section below what you think. I would love to hear your thoughts, inshallah, especially if you've ever been here in Somalia and have been to Canada as well. I would love to hear a comparison, and make sure that you take a look at my book, inshallah, my 2 books describing my experiences in Africa. The latest one, Back Into My Mother's Arms, which is available now in my bio. And thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Please make sure that you give it a like and follow me. See you on the next video, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Bye.